Alright, so Harbor is right around the corner, and he's going to be the 20th agent to Valorant, right? He's going to be a controller, and by the end of it, we will have 5 initiators, which are Fade, Sova, Skybreach, and KO. We'll have 6 duelists, which is Neon, Phoenix, Reyna, Jet, Yoru, and Raze. We'll have 5 controllers, which is Astra, Brimstone, Viper, Omen, and of course Harbor, and 4 sentinels, which is Killjoy, Chambers, Cypher, and Sage. Leading me to believe the next agent might be a sentinel to start bringing up the sentinel numbers, but I digress. The big question I have here is how many agents can Riot or will Riot add to Valorant? I mean, we're already at 20 and it's getting a little crowded. Not gonna lie, just a little bit. Now there should be 21, just in case you guys don't know. There's a little bit of a lore Easter egg where Agent 8 isn't actually in the game, but he is written into the lore with Brimstone and Viper being Valorant Protocol 1 and Valorant Protocol 2. We also know that Fade, although being the 19th agent that was added to Valorant, he's numbered Agent 20. Sorry to butt into the video real quick, but I'm giving away 100,000 Valorant points, $1,000 to one person. And all you gotta do is use the link down below to subscribe to my second channel. Just by pressing one button, you're entered to become the Jeff Bezos of Valorant. Winner will be picked on the Dittozkul channel over there. You can see that on the Fade ID card banner in game, and it's also evident in the warm-up cinematic released for episode 4. So those are 2 little lore bits with agents out of the way, but it doesn't really answer the question. How many raw amount of agents, lore aside, just gameplay, how many agents would or is Riot willing to add? Well, let's explore Riot's past a little bit and dive into, you know, the legendary esports title League of Legends. League was originally released with only 40 champions all the way back in 2009. But since then, Riot has systematically been adding champions to the game consistently, and now they're at 159. With one more champion, it would be 4x the original number of champions. 4x, that is crazy. Valorant started with 12 and League is quite old, but 4xing Valorant is crazy. Wait, let me keyboard math this. 12 times 4 would be 48 agents. That is kind of hard to process in my head. I'm not gonna lie. You gotta think of the abilities, right? Like, already think of how the game is today. If anything to go by, Riot can continuously add agents until they decide to just stop doing Valorant, but that doesn't sound like a great plan. I mean, Chamber already released with a modified Sheriff and an Operators and Ultimate. All controllers have very similar ideas until Harbor came out. There's a lot of rinse and repeat already within the abilities, which makes a lot of sense, don't get me wrong, but how much can they really push it, you know? If we ask the same question with maps, it's a little easier since they've shown that they're willing to remove maps and add a rotation list, so that opens up the number quite a bit. But what are they gonna rotate agents? You know, like, will Jet not be in the game? Like meta rotations? Because otherwise, it's gonna start stacking too far, too fast. Think about it. Now, before getting into my thoughts, what happens if we ask the community? Do they really want an infinite plethora of agents, or do they want the game to actually be confined to a certain number? Well, after rummaging through dozens of discussions over the internet, there seems to be a clear split between 2 options. Some people like the idea of continuing to add agents to give the players something new to play, something to mess around with every season, something to stop it from feeling dry, basically giving old players a reason to come back to the game again and again, while other players oppose that, saying there's just too many characters at a certain point and it could take away the uniqueness of each individual agent and cause a huge mess when it comes to balance. Most of the high-end players, Radiants, Ascendants, Immortals, believe Riot should stop at 24 or 25, but since we're already at 25, there's no way. With all that being said though, there is no exact number of planned characters and there's no intel at all when it comes to Riot's plans or Valorant's future, at least no public intel, and I obviously cannot leak anything personally. However, I can definitely say they're not going to stop at 25. That doesn't make any sense, and I am not led to believe that whatsoever. Truth be told, there's 2 turning points. One is that it's true, you can't just keep adding. I mean, that UI agent select is already looking a little filled, not gonna cap, but they definitely can keep adding more than this. I mean, I think after 30, that's when it's gonna get really hard, but we're still at 20, and To get to 30 is 10 more. Wow, I'm genius. Holy shit. And that 10 more at what? Maybe 2 to 4 agents a year, 2 to 3 agents a year, still leaves us with another 3 years of headroom. So Riot isn't sweating it yet, but Valorant should, at least I predict, will have a lifespan a lot longer than 3 years. So what happens after that? And that's when game design, quality, game balance, and business will collide, because new agents bring players coming back to the game. And when players come back to the game, what do? They spend money, maybe on skins, maybe they buy the battle pass, maybe they buy the newest agent. Player numbers are all that the corporation itself will care about, and while I love Riot, they're not some small indie developer. They're owned by Tencent, and they want to make money. They want to make billions of dollars. So I do believe there's going to be a turning point where there is going to be too many agents in Valorant, but Riot may just keep adding them. Maybe at a slower pace, maybe my joke will come true and they will rotate agents. I'm not entirely sure. But one thing can be said is that for now, there's no room to stop, and after 3 years, we're going to be having this discussion once more.